Hello students, as we have started the chemical thermodynamics chapter, so in the previous session we have studied the enthalpies of the different transformations. Out of these, the enthalpy of the phase transitions, in that the enthalpy of fusion, the enthalpy of vaporization and the enthalpy of sublimation. So these are the three enthalpy changes are related with the phase transition. That means conversion of one state to the another state. Exactly. Okay, so the next is enthalpies of the atomic and molecular changes. In that we have seen the enthalpy of ionization, the enthalpy of atomization, the enthalpy of solution. So these enthalpies, different types of the enthalpies we have seen. So after that, let us study the next session. Now see, enthalpy of a chemical reaction. See, enthalpy of a chemical reaction, basically it is the difference between the sum of the enthalpies of the reactants and products. See, actually enthalpy of a chemical reaction is represented by delta RH, and that is actually it is the difference between the sum of the enthalpies of the reactants and products. Basically it is defined as the enthalpy of a chemical reaction is the difference between the sum of the enthalpies of the products and the sum of the enthalpies of the reactants with each substance in their standard physical state, where their number of moles are indicated by the coefficients in the balanced equation. So basically it is the difference between the sum of the enthalpies of the reactants and products. So let us consider this reaction. A times the coefficient A, small a, indicates the number of moles. A times of A, B times of B, it gives C times of C plus D times of D. The small letters here indicates the number of moles of the individual products A, capital A, B, C, D. Okay. Then according to the definition of the enthalpy of a chemical reaction, delta RH is equals to, in a bracket, the enthalpy of the reactant C plus the enthalpy of the reactant D minus the enthalpy of the reactant A plus the enthalpy of the reactant B. So is equals to, altogether this is written as sum of the enthalpies of the products and the sum of the enthalpies of the reactants. So this is the, you can say, the representation of the enthalpy of a chemical reaction. After that, the standard enthalpy of the reaction. The standard enthalpy of a reaction is the change in enthalpy accompanying with the chemical reaction where the reactants and products are in their standard state. Simply, the enthalpy of a chemical reaction is the standard enthalpy of the reaction. The condition is that the reactants and products are in their standard state. What is a standard state? See, for a particular substance, most of the time it remains stable at 1 bar of the pressure and 298 Kelvin of the temperature. Is it its standard state? Is it? For a particular substance, the standard state of a substance is a form in which is more stable at 1 bar of the pressure and 298 Kelvin of the temperature. Okay. See, the standard enthalpy of formation, delta F H naught. So this is the notation of the standard enthalpy of formation. Now how it is defined? So actually standard enthalpy of formation, it is the enthalpy accompanying with a reaction in which 1 mole of a pure substance, 1 mole of a pure substance is formed in its standard state from its constituent elements in their standard state. See, once the standard enthalpy of formation is defined as it is the enthalpy change accompanying with the reaction in which 1 mole of the substance in its standard state is formed from its standard constituent elements. And one example is given here, that is carbon in graphite form when reacts with gaseous hydrogen, formation of 1 mole of methane takes place, and the standard enthalpy of formation for this reaction is minus 74.8 kilojoules per mole. Now the next is standard enthalpy of the combustion. So standard enthalpy of a combustion, it is denoted by delta CH naught, and see here, it is the enthalpy change accompanying a chemical reaction when 1 mole of a substance in its standard state is completely oxidized is called standard enthalpy of combustion. 1 mole of the substance in its standard state is completely oxidized, then it is called as standard enthalpy of combustion. Now for example, here C2H2, the acetyl molecule gaseous, when it is reacts with oxygen, 5/2 number of moles of oxygen, and formation of carbon dioxide and H2O takes place. And for this reaction, the enthalpy of the standard enthalpy of combustion is equals to minus 1300 kilojoules per mole, and that is also shown as delta RH naught, because standard enthalpy of combustion is also standard enthalpy of reaction here is the same. Okay. See, here one bit, it is standard enthalpy of reaction from the standard enthalpy of formation. That is how you can just guess, consider it. That is standard enthalpy of reaction delta RH from delta FH, standard enthalpy of formation from standard enthalpy of the reaction from standard enthalpy of formation. See here, the standard enthalpies of the formation of in a chemical reaction, the standard enthalpies of formation of compounds are used to calculate the standard enthalpy of a reaction. And the calculation of the standard enthalpy of the reaction from the standard enthalpy of the formation are based on some rules, or you can say some assumptions. The one is the standard enthalpy of the formation of any element is always equals to 0. Then the standard enthalpy of the formation of a particular compound is equals to simply its standard enthalpy of that compound. Okay, the one is standard enthalpy of formation of any element in its pure state is always equals to 0, and the standard enthalpy of the formation of a particular compound in its pure state is equals to its simply standard enthalpy of that compound. Okay, let us consider a reaction A times of A plus B times of B. It gives C times of C plus D times of D. Okay, capital letters are the coefficients, number of moles, and the small letters are the number of moles, and the capital letters are the actual reactants and products. Okay, then as usual, the formation, that is the enthalpy change, enthalpy of a reaction, delta R, the standard enthalpy of the reaction is equals to, it is simply, as we have stated previously, it is known as the difference between the sum of the enthalpies of the products and reactants. So as if you see in this rule, the standard enthalpy of a particular substance is equals to its standard enthalpy of formation. So this term is converted to standard enthalpy of the C, and this enthalpy of our D is standard enthalpy of formation of D. Simply enthalpy of A, standard enthalpy of A is equals to the standard enthalpy of formation of A. The standard enthalpy of B is standard enthalpy of formation of the B. Okay, so the new statement we get, that is standard enthalpy of a reaction is equals to the sum of the standard enthalpies of formation of the products minus the sum of the standard enthalpies of formation of the reactants. Okay, so as per the statement we got the formula or the relation which shows to calculate the enthalpy of the reaction, standard enthalpy of the reaction from the standard enthalpies of formation of reactants and products. Okay. Now see the exothermic and endothermic reactions. As you know, exothermic reactions are those reactions in which heat is given out. Endothermic reactions are those reactions in which the heat is absorbed or heat is added to the system. Now actually, see, in terms of this, previously we have seen that is the relation between the standard heat of formation and standard heat of reaction. In terms of that, in case of suppose, let us say for an endothermic reaction, if the sum of the enthalpies of the products are greater than the sum of the enthalpies of the reactants, from this formula, if this term is greater and this is smaller, then obviously the enthalpy of the reaction will be positive. It signifies that heat is added to the system, and the reaction ultimately will be endothermic. As per the definition, endothermic reaction is that reaction in which heat is absorbed or heat is added to the system. Now let us see about the exothermic reaction. If suppose the sum of the enthalpies of the products are less than the sum of the enthalpies of the reactants, if this term is less than this term, then obviously this delta RH, standard enthalpy of the reaction, will be negative, and it signifies that it implies that heat is released, and obviously it is the exothermic reaction where heat is released or it is given out. See the thermochemical equations. So I have just written the two examples here, the two equations. Simply these are the thermochemical equations. Say these are the balanced equations in which the heat added or released is written to the right side. So these are the simply thermochemical equations. Okay. See, these are the balanced chemical equations in which the enthalpy change and the physical state of the reactants and products and the number of moles of the reactants and products have been specified. Okay, simply the enthalpy change, whether in case of exothermic or endothermic reaction, as well as the physical states of the reactants and products, and that is the number of moles in the balanced chemical equations are mentioned properly. Okay, now what are the guidelines to write the thermochemical equations as? Consider, you have to first of all write the balanced chemical equations with the proper coefficients, and then the value and the sign of the enthalpy change is given on the right hand side as notation drH naught, and the sign may be positive and may be negative, that is as per the heat, whether it is released or added. Then the physical state of the reactants and products are specified by letter G for gaseous and L for liquid and S for solid in the right lower. Say bond enthalpy. So actually how it is defined. The enthalpy change required to break a particular covalent bond in 1 mole of a gaseous molecule to produce gaseous atoms or radicals is called as bond enthalpy. So actually say the bond enthalpy change required to break the covalent bond in 1 mole of a gaseous substance or molecule to produce gaseous atoms or radicals. Is it? So this is the definition of the bond enthalpy. Actually it is the enthalpy change which is required to break a particular covalent bond in 1 mole of a substance or molecule to produce gaseous atoms or radicals is the bond enthalpy. Now see the example, that is hydrogen molecule. When it breaks into 2 fragments, hydrogen atoms, then the bond enthalpy is 436.4. This is also denoted as delta H naught standard bond, that is the enthalpy of bond between H and H is equals to the same. Here one more example, that is the HCl. The bond breaks, covalent bond breaks between HCl, formation of hydrogen and chlorine, separate fragments takes place, and that is the bond enthalpy is 431.9 kilojoules per mole. Here this is also denoted as delta H naught in bracket HCl bond is equals to the same 431.9. Say the average bond enthalpy in polyatomic molecules. We have seen bond enthalpy. We have seen the bond enthalpy. The bond enthalpy is the enthalpy change simply to break, that is the enthalpy required to break a particular covalent bond in a gaseous molecule to form gaseous atoms. Now in case of the polyatomic molecule like H2O, NH3, CO2 and so on, CH4, we have to consider the average bond enthalpy. Say in case of the polyatomic molecule, the each individual covalent bond is associated with its own specific bond enthalpy. Okay, so the energy required to break each and every separate or individual bond is different or are different. Is it? If we consider H2O, in case of H2O we find 2 OH bonds which are identical, but the energy required to break individual bond will be different. Is it? Now see, that is here one equation is given, that is H2O. When that is the molecule H2O breaks to give 2 hydrogen atom and 1 oxygen atom, the bond enthalpy for the reaction is given to 927 kilojoules. So actually this, if we just separate 2 equations or if it takes place in 2 separate steps, that is for breaking of each OH bond, then the first equation H2O, here OH and H, the fragment OH and atom H separates, that means one OH bond is broken. Here the enthalpy of, that is the bond enthalpy, is 499 kilojoules. And secondly, this OH, next OH bond breaks to give oxygen atom and hydrogen atom, and the bond enthalpy is found to be 428 kilojoules. Is it? And this is the overall bond enthalpy for the whole reaction. Now see, in case of this, where the two, in case of H2O particularly, 2 bonds are identical, but the bond enthalpies are found to be different. In this case, we have to consider the average bond enthalpy. Is it? That is, for polyatomic molecules, the average bond enthalpy of a particular bond would be considered the average bond enthalpy of OH bond. So that is equals to average bond average bond enthalpy of H2O particularly is equals to 927 divided by 2, that is equals to 463.5 kilojoules per mole. As this is the concept of average bond enthalpy. Okay. See the Hess law of constant heat summation. Hess law of constant heat summation states that the enthalpy change for a particular reaction is always same regardless the path of the reaction in which it occurs. That means if a particular reaction is carried out in one step or in several steps, the change in enthalpy is same regardless the number of steps or the path of the reaction it occurs, by which it occurs. Now say actually the Hess law of constant heat summation stated as overall change in enthalpy of a chemical reaction is equal to sum of the enthalpy changes of individual steps in the reaction. Say the overall enthalpy change for a chemical reaction is equals to the sum of the enthalpies of the individual step in the reaction, or simply the enthalpy change for a chemical reaction is always same regardless of the path by which the reaction occurs. Now see, consider this reaction, formation of ammonia in one step. When 3 moles of hydrogen reacts with 1 mole of nitrogen to give 2 moles of ammonia, and the enthalpy change for the reaction is minus 92.2 kilojoules. If instead of representing in one step, or if we carried out in number of steps, if first step, when hydrogen reacts with nitrogen, formation of N2H4 takes place, and for this first step the change in enthalpy is 95.4 kilojoules. In second step, N2H4 reacts with hydrogen molecule to form ammonia. This is the second step of formation of ammonia, and for the second step the enthalpy change is minus 187.6 kilojoules. Is it? So this is the individual enthalpies for the two steps formation of ammonia. Now the sum of these two enthalpies for the two different steps is minus 92.2 kilojoules, which is equals to the reaction when carried out in a single step. That means enthalpy change is always same regardless the path of the reaction for which it is adapted, or regardless of the path by which the reaction occurs. So thus the sum of the enthalpy changes is always equals to the enthalpy change of an overall reaction. Now see, the Hess law has been useful to calculate the enthalpy changes for the reaction with their enthalpies being not known experimentally. Okay, this is all about the Hess law of constant heat summation. See students, we have seen the bond enthalpy, average bond enthalpy, and the bond enthalpy in the polyatomic molecule. Now the concept is reaction and bond enthalpy. See, as you know, what is the bond enthalpy? The enthalpy change which is required to break a particular covalent bond in 1 mole of a gaseous molecule. Now see the relation between bond enthalpy and the reaction. In a chemical reaction, there is the breaking of old bond and formation of the new bond takes place. So the reaction involves substances. The reaction involving substances as reactants and products. They contain covalent bonds. So the enthalpy of the reaction is calculated by knowing the bond enthalpies of the reactants and products. bond enthalpies of the reactants and products. That's why the enthalpy change of a particular reaction is equals to the sum of the bond enthalpies of the reactants and the sum of the bond enthalpies of the products. If we take the example to represent a particular bond enthalpy of a reaction, or the enthalpy of the reaction in terms of bond enthalpy is enthalpy, that is hydrogen reacts with iodine to form 2HI. Okay, so the enthalpy of the reaction in terms of the bond enthalpy is equals to, as here, sum of the bond enthalpies of the reactants, that is bond enthalpy of hydrogen plus bond enthalpy of iodine. These are the two reactants, and this is the product, bond enthalpies of the product. So 2 coefficient number of moles of HI, twice of bond enthalpy of HI bond. So this is the enthalpy change of a chemical reaction in terms of bond enthalpy. Okay, so let us see the next point in the next session. So have a nice day.